Digital networks, global supply chains, and energy grids are now so tightly interconnected that disruption in one sector creates immediate friction in every other. When these failures cascade faster than an institution can react, traditional crisis management, which assumes a return to stable baselines, is no longer effective. When the wider environment degrades, the core functions of command and control remain intact. Historically, power was defined by the 1648 fortress model, defending physical borders and territorial perimeters. In the 2026 networked model, sovereignty depends on the capacity to maintain systemic flows. If a state cannot guarantee the continuous movement of authority, energy, and financial liquidity, its governance will collapse regardless of its territorial defenses. In this environment, institutional survival is a matter of system architecture. Resilience cannot be an afterthought or a recovery plan. It must be a hard-coded property of the governance system itself. During a total system shock, attempting to protect every asset at once is a strategic error. This spreads resources too thin across the network, ensuring no single component can stop a collapse. ASR utilizes the pivot domino principle. It identifies the single node whose failure triggers total systemic breakdown. Once located, the system concentrates 100% of its defensive resources on hardening it, creating a point where the chain reaction must stop. For a port authority, physical cranes and fuel depots are accessible, but rarely critical. The true pivot domino is the digital customs ledger. If that ledger is lost, trade stalls, payments freeze, and supply chains fail, even if the physical port remains untouched. Active stabilization requires a strategy of selective sacrifice. By allowing peripheral functions to degrade in a controlled manner, the system preserves the functional sovereignty of its core, preventing total institutional fracture. Rigid hierarchies are vulnerable to single points of failure. When communications are severed and a central leadership hub goes dark, a traditional command structure paralyzes, leaving the rest of the network without direction or authority. ASR replaces this with mesh governance. Peripheral nodes become independent microsovereigns. Pre-programmed with the commander's intent, they operate without central connectivity. The sovereign standard requires every node to maintain decision authority and operational flow for 72 hours, while completely cut off. This 72-hour window serves as a strategic buffer. By securing a period of autonomous operation, the network prevents an immediate liquidity shock and gives the broader system the time necessary to restabilize and reconnect. Technical safeguards are only as reliable as the people managing them. History shows that even the most fortified networks fail when the human decision-makers succumb to fear, external pressure, or capture during a crisis. ASR treats human reliability as a hard engineering specification. Using the 72/integrity audit, the framework measures human integrity density. This identifies leaders who can maintain operational velocity and ethical clarity under extreme isolation, ensuring that authority remains in the hands of those who can execute the mission without deviation. The framework scales across 3 operational tiers. ASR Lite is designed for corporate and municipal environments. ASR Core secures national critical infrastructure, and ASR Sovereign provides the full command architecture required for state governance and national security. In an era defined by constant disruption, institutional collapse is often a choice. By replacing improvisation with an architecture of resilience, states can ensure their command, control, and continuity remain operational no matter the external conditions.